The rain fell in sheets, soaking through Lily Harper's thin coat as she stood outside the old stone church. Inside, mourners gathered for her grandfather Henry's funeral, their voices a low hum of crocodile tears. Lily hadn't planned to come. She been estranged from the Harper family for years, but something in her gut told her to show up. She adjusted her scarf, took a deep breath, and stepped inside. The air was thick with the scent of lilies and hypocrisy. Her cousins, Claire and Nathan, stood at the front, heads bowed in rehearsed grief. Mother Patricia dabbed at dry eyes with a silk handkerchief. Uncle Richard, who hadn't spoken to Grandpa Henry in a decade, delivered a eulogy dripping with false devotion. Lily lingered in the back, unnoticed, until Claire's sharp gaze caught her. "What are you doing here?" Claire hissed, crossing the aisle. "You don't belong here." "I came to say goodbye," Lily said quietly, her voice steady despite the sting of Claire's words. "You're not family," Nathan chimed in, his suit pristine, his sneer sharper. "You're just the kid," Grandpa pitied. The words cut, but Lily held her ground. She'd spent her childhood summers with Grandpa Henry at his dusty bookshop. Harper's tomes, while her cousins chased Ivy League dreams and corporate internships. To them, she was the oddball who preferred old books to stock portfolios. To Grandpa, she was the only one who understood the magic of stories. Enough, Patricia snapped, joining them. "Leave, Lily. You're embarrassing us." Lily's heart sank, but she didn't argue. As she turned to go, her father, silent as always, avoided her gaze. The church doors closed behind her with a thud, the rain washing away the last of her resolve to reconnect. But as she walked away, she remembered Grandpa's words. "Not every treasure is shiny, Lily. The best ones are hidden in plain sight." Growing up, Lily was the black sheep of the Harper clan. While Claire secured a law degree and Nathan climbed the ranks at a tech startup, Lily spent her days in Grandpa Henry's bookshop, a cramped, dimly lit space in Melbourne's historic district. The shelves groaned under the weight of rare manuscripts, first editions, and forgotten journals. Henry taught her how to spot a genuine 18th century binding, how to decipher faded ink, and how to feel the soul of a book. "You've got the gift, Lily," he'd say, his eyes twinkling behind wire-rimmed glasses. "You see the stories others miss." Her family didn't get it. "You're wasting your life on moldy pages," her mother would scold. Look at Claire Shees, a partner at 28. Nathan S. got stock options worth millions. But Henry saw something in Lily that no one else did. A hunger for meaning over money, for legacy over luxury. The Harpers hadn't always been obsessed with wealth. "We were scholars once," Henry told her one summer, showing her a 17th century atlas he'd restored. "Our fortune came from preserving knowledge, not chasing profit." Those words stuck with Lily, even as her family drifted further into greed. When Henry died, the facade of unity shattered. At the wake, Claire and Nathan didn't bother hiding their excitement. "That bookshop's sitting on prime real estate," Claire said, sipping champagne. "Could turn it into condos." "And those old books," Nathan added, "some of them are worth a fortune. Sotheby's would kill for a crack at them." Lily stood in the corner, clutching a worn copy of The Tempest Henry had given her. "What?" To her, the shop was a sanctuary, each book a piece of history Henry had entrusted to her. To them it was a cash cow. The funeral was a masterclass in performative grief. Uncle Richard, who'd once called Henry a senile hoarder, sobbed loudly. Aunt Margaret, who hadn't visited in years, praised Henry's generosity. Lily sat alone, her heart heavy with memories of late-night talks in the shop, of Henry teaching her how to repair a torn page with surgical precision. When she stood to speak, Nathan cut her off. "We don't need a lecture from the bookworm," he sneered. "This is for real family." "Real family?" Lily's voice trembled. "I was there every summer, every weekend, helping him catalog books while you were too busy to call." "Enough," Claire said, her tone icy. "You're not one of us." After the service, Lily went to Henry's house, hoping to sit in his study one last time. They used to drink tea there, surrounded by shelves of leather-bound classics. But as she reached for the door, her mother blocked her path. "You're not welcome here," Patricia said, her eyes cold. "You never were." Uncle Richard loomed behind her. "Get out, Lily. You're not a Harper. You're just some stray Henry took pity on." The words hit like a slap, but the silence from her father hurt more. Grandpa was my family, Lily said softly, turning away. As she walked down the steps, Claire's voice followed her. Go back to your little book job. Some of us have real lives to live. They didn't know the shop was more than it seemed. Henry had built a global network of rare book collectors, trading manuscripts worth millions through discreet online channels. The storefront was just a cover. Lily kept that secret close, just as Henry had taught her. 2 days later, Lily got a call from Mr. Caldwell, Henry's lawyer of 40 years. You need to be here for the will reading, he said, a hint of amusement in his voice. Reluctantly, she went. The Harper family filled Caldwell's oak-paneled office, buzzing with anticipation. Claire and Nathan sat up front, already mentally spending their inheritance. Lily took a seat by the door, unnoticed. Caldwell cleared his throat. Henry left a letter to be read first. He broke the wax seal on an envelope marked with Henry's monogram and began, My dear family, if you're hearing this, I'm gone. Don't bother with a fancy funeral. You're only here for this will. For years, I watched you trade integrity for ambition, knowledge for status. Only one of you remembered what matters. Only one understood the value of the stories I tried to preserve. Claire shifted uncomfortably. Nathan's smirk faded. Caldwell picked up the will. To Claire, Nathan, and all other grandchildren, except Lily, I leave $1 each. The room erupted. Claire screamed, This is a scam. Nathan shouted about legal action. Caldwell continued, unfazed. To my children, Patricia, Richard, and Margaret, I leave my collection of family journals, so you might recall what family once meant. Patricia gasped. Richard's face turned crimson. Caldwell's voice cut through the chaos. To my granddaughter Lily, who knows that true wealth lies in stories and character. I leave the entirety of my estate, including Harper's tomes, all associated holdings, and the Harper Trust. Current valuation, $3.2 billion. Lily's breath caught. Billion? The room spun. Claire lunged forward. That's impossible. He ran a dusty bookshop. Caldwell smiled. Henry Harper was one of the world's foremost dealers in rare manuscripts. The shop was a front for a global enterprise. He turned to Lily. Miss Harper, Henry requested a private meeting tomorrow to discuss your inheritance. Shall we? Lily nodded, stunned. As she left, her mother grabbed her arm. Lily, we need to talk. As a family. You threw me out of his funeral, Lily said, pulling free. You don't get to call me family now. The next morning, Lily sat in Caldwell's office, a leather folder emblazoned with the Harper Trust logo before her. Your grandfather was more than a bookseller, Caldwell began. Harper's Tomes is the public face of a conglomerate operating in 38 countries, dealing in rare manuscripts, historical documents, and cultural preservation. Lily's mind reeled. How did no one know? Henry was a genius at discretion, Caldwell said. He used shell companies and trusted agents. The shop was his cover a quaint facade for $1 billion empire. He handed her a letter from Henry. With trembling hands, Lily read, My dearest Lily, if you're reading this, you've learned my secret. I kept it from you to protect you, not just from the family, but from a world that doesn't value what we do. The Harper Trust doesn't just trade books. We preserve history, recover stolen artifacts, and protect knowledge from those who'd exploit it. That 16th century manuscript we authenticated last year, it was part of a sting to stop a black market ring. You ready for this, Lily? Check the hidden drawer in my desk at the shop. Black Ledger will tell you the rest. Love, Grandpa. Lily looked up. You knew all this. Caldwell nodded. I've been Henry's lawyer since the beginning. Now I'm yours. His phone buzzed. The Harpers are here, demanding to see you. Lily squared her shoulders. Let them wait. We have work to do. For hours, Caldwell walked her through the Harper Trust, auction houses, restoration labs, even a security firm specializing in protecting rare collections. Henry had planned her succession meticulously, briefing key executives years in advance. Then Lily noticed something in the financials. Caldwell, these investments Claire's law firm, Nathan's startup. We own majority stakes. Your grandfather was strategic, Caldwell said, quietly funded their ventures, ensuring control. They never knew who their investor was. Lily smiled. The The family that mocked her had been working for Henry and, now for her. Lily stepped into the waiting room where her family sat like vultures. Claire leaped up. "We're contesting the will."
Henry wasn't sane.
Nathan nodded.
"You'll ruin everything, Lily. You're just a glorified librarian."
Lily raised a hand, channeling Henry's quiet authority. "Before you waste your money, let me clarify something. Claire, that $50 million your firm got from Horizon Capital, it was Grandpa. Nathan, the venture fund that saved your startup, also Grandpa. And Uncle Richard, who bailed out your hotels in 2019, guess who?" Their faces paled. Patricia stepped forward, her voice syrupy. "Lily, darling, this is why we need to manage this together. You're not equipped for this." "Like you were equipped to throw me out of his funeral?" Lily said. "You thought I was nothing because I valued books over bank accounts? Now that I control your companies, suddenly I'm family?" She turned to Caldwell. "Set up meetings with their boards. I expect performance reports by next week." "You can't do this," Claire shrieked. "I already have," Lily said, walking out. "Imagine what I can do now that I'm not hiding." Outside, her phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. A photo of Henry in front of a sleek building in London, captioned, "Welcome to Harper Trust HQ, Miss Harper, but your team awaits." 6 months later, Lily stood in Harper's tomes, the shop restored to its former glory. The trust had grown under her leadership, its operations streamlined, its mission expanded. She'd launched the Harper Institute, a center for manuscript preservation and digital archiving, offering scholarships to young scholars. The Financial Times called her the secret titan of the literary world. Her family's attempts to undermine her failed spectacularly. Claire's firm lost a major client when Lily's team uncovered discrepancies in their contracts. Nathan's startup tanked after she withdrew funding, citing mismanagement. She didn't do it for revenge every move. Strengthened the trust that it humbled her family was just a bonus. One evening, Patricia walked into the shop, her face lined with regret. "Lily, I was wrong. We all were. Can we start over?" Lily closed the black ledger she'd found in Henry's desk, filled with his plans for her. "Grandpa said success isn't about proving others wrong. It's about proving yourself right. I'm not angry, Mom. I'm done. If you want to change, build something yourself." After Patricia left, Lily went to Henry's old office. A photo on the desk showed him as a young man, standing in the shop on its opening day, his eyes bright with purpose. She saw herself in that look. Her phone buzzed Lucy, Henry's assistant, with news of a lost manuscript uncovered in Paris. The shop's bell chimed downstairs, another customer seeking hidden treasures. Lily smiled. Henry had built an empire by seeing value where others saw dust. Now it was her turn. Next week, she'd speak at Melbourne University. Hidden Empires. The Power of Unseen Value. Claire and Nathan would be there, forced to listen as their failure of a cousin revealed how she'd outmaneuvered them. But more than that, she'd tell Henry's story, a man who preserved history, not for profit, but for love. The bell chimed again. Lily grabbed her coat. There were stories waiting to be saved, treasures waiting to be found, and this time she was writing her own.